Okay, so you need business advice, or at least you think you need business advice. Maybe, but probably you do actually need some business advice, but please be very careful who you ask. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to talk about how do you go about asking for advice? How do you know that when you need advice? And by all means, who are you asking for actual advice? The reason it is very important is because there's one person in your business that's the easiest person to fool, and that's yourself. Because what you're going to find is that it's very easy to lie to yourself, candidly, because you want your business to be successful, frankly, more than anybody. And so it's very easy to lie to yourself and to look at it and say, once you see other videos and we start talking about financial projections, it's a great example. It's very easy to go, oh, we're going to be able to hit this metric and hit this metric, and a lot of those things are really just you lying to yourself. And so getting business advice from other people is very important. But as I've covered in other videos, first of all, you have to think about, why am I asking for advice in the first place? Am I just trying to show my ego to whoever it is that I'm asking about? In other words, am I not really interested in the advice? Am I only interested in helping them know that I'm actually building a business and getting my ego puffed up a little bit? That's a terrible idea, right? You don't want to do that. But a lot of people, especially in circles that I run in, there's Bible verses that talk about it. There's one in Proverbs that talks about with plans with many advisors are more likely to succeed. Or if you don't have advisors, you're going to be more likely to fail. There's one in New Testament talks about sitting down. A man sat down to figure out whether or not he had enough money to build this tower, and because he didn't want to get halfway done and not be ridiculed because he couldn't finish it. And so a lot of people go, I just need to ask advice. But you've got to understand that if you're asking advice to someone, you got to understand, do they have any expertise to be able to help you at all? Someone can never take you where they've never been. So finding people that are successful business people and asking them advice, sure, that's a really great idea. But you have to be careful who it is that you're asking. Again, because you don't want to just find the people that are going to tell you the things that you want to hear as well. Now, I've had some examples of this that are very painful for me, as well as for friends that I have. I can think of two very specific. There was one, this had probably been 15 years ago. I had a friend that we were talking about a business that he wanted to go into and how he was going to go about doing it. I don't want to give the full details because I love this guy. He's still a very close friend. And we had this conversation, and he knew that I had a lot of expertise in business and had a successful business on my own. And so we came to this realization that this business is probably a bad idea. Now, I had another two that I think of that are just so crystal clear. There's another one for other circumstances that was going to require debt and some other things, and that we were talking, and they came to the realization themselves, this is a bad idea. And I thought, man, that's really great that, I know it's painful because I know that you want to do this business idea, but I would agree with you. I turned around a month later, and in both of those instances, they did it. And so I was stunned. And so I went to, with the first person. Of course, I didn't say anything. I wanted to still be friends with them. I wanted to support them. But they made terrible decisions, and they knew it was a bad decision. They even said, we went through the facts. We look at all the different possibilities of things that can go wrong, what the financial implications are. And both of these people about went broke, full on bankrupt, wiped out, starting over because they made bad business decisions. And so what am I saying in terms of that? When you do find the right person to ask, you have to listen to what they're telling you, right? And you have to be willing to say, okay, maybe my business idea is close, but maybe it's not fully there. Another thing you can do, certainly reading books. That's a great way to get advice because, Tim Ferriss, right? One of my all-time favorite books is The 4-Hour Workweek. You'll hear little pieces that I'll throw in there from time to time. It's a great book. And so, but Tim Ferriss, you're not going to be able to call up Tim and have a conversation with him about that, but you have his books. There's lots of other content. There's content like this online to where you can take that and ultimately apply it to your business. It's going to be dynamic though, right? At the end of the day, your business idea is going to be your business idea. You might be a stay-at-home mom that you're trying to just supplement family income, or you may just be starting over. And you could have an air conditioning business or a dog walking business, as you've heard me say a lot, or you could be a stay-at-home mom that's doing something specific with kids. You're going to have to learn to be dynamic, to take the content and apply it to your business. So that's the reason I always say make sure that you're subscribing, because we're really starting to get in some of the areas of content that's going to be very specific in helping you in actually putting the pieces together to make your business successful. So make sure you subscribe, and your comments, as I always tell people, your comments are helpful, and that allows me to understand what you're thinking. You know, a vast majority of your success is going to be about what's going on between your ears. And don't be selfish. As I always say, make sure to like the video, because if it's helpful to you, it'll be helpful to other people. So looking forward to talking with you again soon. Thanks.